So this is going to be our very first ever cruise review of the Carnival Dream. What we did was an 8-day cruise.
8-day cruise.
8-day cruise to the Bahamas. So it's an Eastern Caribbean. And our very first stop was in Key West. And then we went over to, what was it, Freeport?
Yes.
And then Half Moon Cay, and then Nassau. It was an awesome trip.
The first thing that we noticed on the Dream was that the staff was extremely friendly. Our stateroom steward was Norman, and he was phenomenal.
Yeah, most definitely. Because on day one, we noticed that our cabin only had 2 outlets. One was the European style, and then the other one was like the 110, 115. And having only one of those, but needing to charge all of our camera equipment plus our phones, it just wasn't going to work. So we asked Norman if there was a way that he could get us a power strip or just a plain extension cord, something to be able to plug in multiple devices. Plus you had a curling iron, which it is allowed, a curling iron,
wand.
a curling wand. That's allowed to be able to take on the cruise, because we've had some items when we went on the Breeze, they took away our travel iron. We didn't know. We should have read the frequently asked questions, but we didn't. And they took our iron, and they took our surge protector. So you can't have anything that's got like a fuse. The blocks are perfectly fine, which I wish I had one in here so that I can show y'all what we're probably going to start taking from here forward. But yeah, so the staff, extremely friendly. Norman is the first person that comes to mind because he's the one who took care of us daily, and we interacted with him the most, I want to say.
I'm sure they have their way of knowing your name, a cheat sheet, if you will, but it just means something when they speak to you by name, and Norman did that every day. Every time he saw us, he knew us by name, and it just, I guess, made us feel special.
Yeah, that's like one thing that I'm gonna say, it's gotta be hard, but I mean, if that's your main job, then you're probably gonna get good at it. But think about the turnaround, 8 days, and then once we get back, we get off the ship, a new crowd comes on board, and then they've gotta be Johnny on the spot with remembering the names to the faces. They do a phenomenal job, and that's why that's like one of the big likes, is them being able to remember you. And it wasn't just him, it was also down at the bar. Good. Can I get a double
vodka?
Yes, double Grey Goose.
There you go.
They remembered from on the embarkation day.
From the days before.
We went there, and then the next day that I went to get a drink, I think it was the Blue Iguana Bar.
Oh, you mean on the Lido deck? Yeah.
On the Lido deck,
yeah.
The guy was like, I was about to order. He didn't remember my name, but he remembered the drink that I purchased on the embarkation day. Yeah. And yeah, so staff, they're really, really good at their job.
It just seemed no matter where you were on the ship, if you had a question or didn't know where you were going, there was always someone there to guide you and help you. Everybody always had a smile on their face, even though you know that they're probably not always in the best mood, but they never let that show. So yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. That was like my top like about the cruise.
I think we just had a phenomenal time on the Dream, and they're sister ships too, so they're both exactly the same, almost a mirror image of each other, with exception to the other cruisers that told us that one thing that we did notice on deck 5, there's supposed to be like a Red Frog pub. I think it's called the Pub. It's like a bar in itself right next to the Bonsai Sushi place, and this on the Dream they didn't have that. So that's why a lot of the people who we met on this particular cruise said that they actually liked the Breeze more, and I was just completely dumbfounded because we had a complete 180 experience from the Breeze.
The Breeze.
Yeah.
So you're talking about where we saw them playing beer pong?
Yes, they were playing.
I remember
they were playing
that
beer pong.
I also think there's a difference between the cruises because when we went on the Breeze, it was a 3 or 4 day.
It was a 5-day.
Oh,
it was a
5-day
cruise.
cruise. So I guess that is not that much of a difference, but
Yeah, we had 3 extra days.
yeah.
But it was a big time party crowd, and it showed. And we're going to reference the Breeze a lot because we've only done 2 Carnival cruises,
Yeah,
the
so
Breeze
far.
and the Dream. So it's kind of hard for us not to reference the other cruise that we had that just wasn't so pleasant. It was mainly because one, it was a rowdy crowd. And we're not the type of people that's going to shy away from having a great time, cutting loose and having a little bit too much to drink. But when it starts to affect the ambiance of the ship, meaning we found plates in the stairwells, and there was cake and just food smashed into the carpet.
Yeah, so that'll bring us to the cleanliness of the ship. The Dream was super clean.
Yeah,
everywhere
I
we
agree.
went, everything was clean. Our stateroom was always perfect. The ship was always perfect. Restrooms around the ship were always clean and well kept.
I don't know. I really didn't notice much as far as things being out of place.
Which is pretty crazy because we went on the Dream during spring break.
Yeah.
And so you would expect the Dream to be a little more like out of the norm, but it wasn't. It was great.
Yeah, they did a really good job keeping the entire area clean.
Yeah, we did. They did.
Oh, and there was another thing. I forgot which day it was. Whenever we were coming, I think we were on our way back after Nassau. It was one of our sea days. We went through a rainstorm / thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah.
And there was tons of water that collected so fast. The rain was a big downpour that the water collected on deck 5 and it started flooding in. Someone actually posted on the Facebook group a video of deck 12, I want to say. The elevator. Water collected so fast that it was rushing in and it went inside the elevator, and so it shorted the shaft, and some people actually got stuck, I want to say.
I don't know if they got stuck. I don't remember that, but I do remember people couldn't get on it because it was flooded, and we saw them putting towels outside. Was it outside or inside?
No, they did it at the doors, inside at the doors, to try to stop the water from coming in, and they had squeegees.
We were just trying to figure out what they were doing the whole time, but they have a method to their madness for sure.
They did, and they jumped into action really quick. That nothing truly got past the alchemy bar and further into the ship. That, I mean, I don't know, they were just perfect with those squeegees, and then whatever that machine is, like a Zamboni but very miniature, and it just sucked up the water and then did away with it. Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
To me, it was just another example of how well prepared they are for things to happen, because it was done and fixed in minutes, and everything was back to normal.
Another thing that we liked was the wide variety of food that they had that was included in your fare for the cruise. So all the free stuff. We didn't do any of the specialty dining, but there was really no need to do that because they had a big variety that was really good tasting as well. And then the main dining room, what was it called? In the main dining room, it's we didn't have we did
your time dining.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did your time dining, which I highly recommend if you have a small party. The food was always super warm. We talked about this before. We don't know if they keep the food under hot plates or not, but we chose to go to dinner fairly early.
Yes.
Just because that's just what we like to do. But we went fairly early, and the food was always super warm, and the wait time was always less than 10 minutes if we had a wait time at all.
So what you do is you go into your app, and then you just select that, hey, I guess you just check in, and then they'll let you know when to start heading down towards, I think it was deck 3. I don't know. I think it was deck 3 because it was the main lobby. where the bar was.
Yeah.
Maybe. Don't quote us on that.
No, it was either 3 or 4. We always got it confused.
Yeah,
and
because we
still
went to
don't know.
yeah, we went to 4, I think, and then they sent us downstairs one more deck. So that's why I'm saying 3, but don't quote us on that. Anybody who's already done the Dream, go ahead and let us know that if the main dining room, I think it was a Crimson dining room.
That's what it was called.
If it's deck 3 or 4, but either way, what we did notice talking or going back to what Shannon was saying is that the food just seemed like it was just fresh, right off of like being cooked. And there was one time when we did check in kind of late that it didn't taste up to par with the other days when we did go in and check like super early. So we checked in from the stateroom, and then by the time we made our way down there, we had already received a notification that our table was ready. Now the downside to that, if you're one of those people who like to have the same servers so that they know you by name, you're not going to want to do that because you're going to get a different server. However, because we tipped in cash, the very first night, the guy, our server, told us to ask for him, and they would accommodate us and have seat us at his table. But the downside to that is if you did do that and he had someone already at his table, then you would have to wait. Yeah. So that was the downside. So we opted not to do that. We just got a new server every night that we did go to the main dining room. But because there was a big variety of food, we didn't always go. Like if we didn't like the menu.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I think your time dining worked for us, and it may not work for everybody. But we don't like to go to the main dining room every night if we don't like the menu. So for us, it worked out perfectly. We got to choose when we wanted to go. It was very minimal wait time, which we weren't sure of. Because on the Breeze, we did have the early dining.
Yes.
I think we had
the early dining.
So I guess there is beauty in having the same server every night, but for us, it just didn't really matter this time.
Honestly, it didn't.
It kind of gave us a chance to experience like more people and get to meet more people, because that's fun too, to get to meet the people that work on the cruise and kind of like hear their stories and stuff.
Yeah, you get to hear about where they're from, what they're about, when did they start cruising or being working for Carnival, and it's just always interesting whenever you get to engage with other people. The other thing was from breakfast, which I think we primarily did omelets every morning because we knew we were getting fresh eggs, none of the powdered mixed stuff. And we ordered omelets. I think one day I ordered eggs over medium because they had hash browns, and they don't always serve those little circular hash browns every morning. They'll do like those chopped potatoes, like red potatoes or something like that, which I don't really care too much for, but when they had the little circular hash browns, that's whenever I ordered the eggs over medium, because I love putting that over the hash brown and then just letting the yolk go into my hash brown. But that, for the most part, that was breakfast for us on a daily.
Yeah, I think I ate omelet every day. I don't think I ate anything else for breakfast.
just the omelet. I mean, you did try the eggs Benedict?
I didn't.
I thought you...
I didn't try it on this cruise at all.
Oh, wow.
No, because I think the day that they had it with the fish on it, and I didn't want to eat it like
salmon,
that.
Yeah.
I prefer it with the is it ham that they usually put on it. But yeah, I do usually like that, but I just did omelets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we would, I don't know that we ever did the buffet. I don't think we ever made it in time.
We did the buffet for lunch or something, didn't we?
We may have done it once, but it was...
you know what we did?
It was
we did
not
the
memorable.
Sandwiches. They make fresh sandwiches, so we did that.
Over at their deli, I don't know what Carnival calls their deli, which I probably should have wrote it in my notes, but
we got the
deli,
Cuban mixto. That was the sandwich
mixto,
that we really
that
liked.
was amazing. We did try some of the other ones, like the Reuben. Yeah, not a big fan of it. I mean, it's edible. It tastes
was good.
okay.
It just wasn't better than the mixto, which we had already had. And we
got that several times. So definitely recommend trying that one. It's just full of flavor, lots of taste to it, and the warmth. I don't know. It just everything about it was
Really
really
good.
good.
They had wraps. They had,
Yeah.
you know, basic. I think they had BLTs.
I think
they
that's-
had lots of stuff to choose from, and it was really.
I think
You
that's
know.
at the rear of the ship.
Was that the buffet?
Yeah, well, it was on deck 10, but at the rear of it, because there's like that deck for the buffet. It spans like from the rear
Yeah, it
towards the middle of the ship. So it was like we never would have found it had we not looked towards the rear of the ship. But we knew it was on deck 10, and we knew it was a part of like the buffet area. We had never found it, but
I just
yeah,
think we're
glad
not
we
the
did.
type of people that does our homework, if you will, before we go on a cruise. So we kind
Yeah.
of explore the ship once we get on there. So we didn't really know, you know, all the different food options aside from what friends had told us. So another place that we tried was ramen. They had a ramen.
No,
is
it,
it
wa-
not
it
ramen
was not
bar?
ramen. It was a Mongolian, like the Mongolian wok, something like that, where they had four styles of. They had four styles.
It was
of,
like build your own
yeah,
bowl
build your
type
own
thing.
bowl, where they would actually cook chicken, shrimp. I think they had squid,
They did.
and then they had like steak maybe, and then all these vegetables. So
I
it
wasn't
was
a
a
fan.
yeah, it was a stir fry.
I wasn't a fan.
It would be better. I mean, you try what sauces did you try?
Black bean and
paste.
something Thai something.
Sweet Thai or something. I can't.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I tried the.
It needed to be more spicy, and that's my fault because I didn't choose the spicy sauce.
Well, I did. I did
But-
choose the spicy sauce, and I let her have a taste of it. I mean, it was really spicy. I was literally sweating. My scalp was.
Well, we didn't feel good that day.
Yeah. Oh, we
so
woke
we
up
should add
hungover.
to that
Yeah.
too. We did not feel good that day, so I think
That was our
it was
last
that was a
day.
mix of it. Like I just
Yeah.
didn't feel great, but I knew I needed to eat something, and it just wasn't hitting the spot.
Yeah, that day we actually missed breakfast because we had
We
too much
overslept.
drinking the night before.
Yep.
And I swore that I wasn't going to drink on my very last day. And I actually did drink. Anyhow, the Mongolian wok just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't for me. Mainly the sauces, because I did try yours. And I didn't like the flavor of the sauce. I
It could
also
have been the mixture.
I did
of
the
two.
Szechuan
That's
or
what it
something
was
like
called.
that.
That was the spicy
That was
one.
the super spicy one. So I mean, I can handle some spice, but
He was
man,
sweating.
this was on another level spice. So when they show the 3 chili peppers or whatever it was for the spice level, yeah, take them on their word for that. It was really spicy.
Yeah. Oh, the pizza too.
That's
Sorry,
exactly-
I totally
No,
cut
that's-
you off, but
that's
the
exactly what I was
pizza
gonna
was
start
so
talking about.
good. What was that
at
pizza
nighttime.
place
I think
called?
it was maybe a combination of it being so good because after a night of drinking, that's probably one of your like last options if you get there in time.
There we go too. But we
Yeah.
weren't even really drinking the time that we had at first.
I think. Well, there was a couple of nights that we did
The
have.
first time we had it.
The
Were
first
you-
time we had it, it was good.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we hadn't been drinking, so
Okay.
I'm just saying we don't want to take away from the pizza. It was really
Yeah,
good.
it was really good. And
Yeah.
and do not be afraid to combine every. I think they had 3 offerings
Like
where they had
4.
pepperoni and then they had the fromage or something like that, which was 4 cheeses, and then they had the mushroom. I combined all of those together. I was like, "Can you please make me all 3 of them, but on one pizza?"
It was so good.
And it's kind of like the
That's
works.
the one that was really good.
Like the specialty
you,
pizza.
Like created your own.
One of the workers actually like kind of snarled, like, "No, we can't do that." But then the guy was like, "No, I can do it." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't understand why you can't just do it." I know it's almost like having a sense of entitlement, but that's honestly, I'm the most humble person possible whenever I interact with other people. And I was just like, I don't understand. I mean, you just, if you're making one, just throw them all onto that. But it never came to that because, again, the friendliness of a lot of the staff, the bulk of the staff, let's just say 95% of the staff are going to be so accommodating to you because their goal is just your happiness. And
Yeah.
that pizza made us so happy for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think the person that was saying, like, I can't
There-
do that. I think maybe just some are more experienced than others, so she probably
Yeah.
didn't know that that was okay for them to do.
Yeah, because going back to
She wasn't rude.
No, she was not
just,
rude to us
you know,
at all. She was just conversing with her like work associate there at the pizza place, and he was like, no, I can make it. But we overheard because we were like right there, hello, we're right here in front of you. But it didn't get to like where we felt out of place or anything like that. We're just glad that they made it for us. The pizza
Yeah,
is,
absolutely.
it's really good. Definitely go back there towards the rear of the ship, which
in the
is
buffet
yeah,
area
right
on
by
the
that
Lido
pool
deck.
area. And some of the other places, Guy's Burgers.
Yeah, we can't forget that one because that's
Yeah.
probably, that is my favorite on the ship. I like the burger.
It's a toss-up. It is a great burger. I mean, we learned about that on the Breeze, and we were like, that's a definite must. And so on embarkation day, as soon as we embarked on the ship, and then we were waiting for our stateroom to be ready, we went to the Lido deck, actually one deck above the Lido, and we found a place to park and put all of our belongings, and then went to the Blue Iguana, got the drink, and then we went to Guy's Burgers and ordered. We shared, actually. We split
Yeah,
the burger.
because I was going to say, we
Yeah.
didn't do anything. I sat at the table to hold our spots. I
So-
got the easy job.
Yeah, so we shared a burger, and it was just as good as we remembered it on our first cruise. And they have their own little bar to the side where you have all the fixins, and you can throw it. I mean,
You
sky's the
fix
limit.
it up however
Yeah.
you want.
They had chili, they had caramelized onions, they had those like those fried onions. I don't know what they're called, but they're like crispy onions,
yeah, crispy.
like French's crispy onions or something like that.
That's what you use on green bean casserole.
So they had that, and then you had your lettuce, which was a very thinly shredded lettuce. Tomato, onion, like raw onion.
I think they had jalapeno.
They did. I mean, they had everything, and you can just pile it high. Another tip is don't be bashful about asking for like a double cheeseburger. Like, can I get 2 patties? I didn't try 3. I wasn't that hungry, but for sure, 2 patties is definitely the way to go with your burger. Really good, and they will accommodate you.
I didn't
for
even
sure.
know that you ordered
Yeah.
double patty.
Yeah, I definitely got 2 patties, but Guy's Burgers is one spot that you really do not want to miss whenever you go out there and you're going to choose something to eat.
Yep. Another Guy's spot that we unfortunately did not eat on the Dream was
yeah.
Guy's Pig and Anchor barbecue.
That's their barbecue spot.
Yeah.
We did go visit it on Embarkation Day, and I'm going to keep referencing Embarkation Day a lot because that's when we tried to not reacquaint ourselves.
Familiarize ourselves with the ship.
Yeah, and we went out there and actually took a look at the menu, but I don't know that if it said like their dining times, like when they were actually open, and that's the main reason why we never ate there.
I don't recall seeing it posted like the times that they're open. I just recall, I feel like I recall being told that they're open on sea days, but however, we only saw it open once. It was a sea day at lunchtime, but the line was so
massive.
long that it wasn't worth it for us to wait in it because we did eat it on the Breeze.
Yeah.
And we just...
It was so-so.
It was okay. Yeah.
Being from Texas, we have really great barbecue places to eat from. And so that's basically what we were judging it off of. Now, granted, this is free barbecue. So to most, it's going to be way up there as far as its like quality.
Yeah, I would just say call us barbecue snobs.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's definitely not bad. It's just not the best. It wasn't worth it to us to wait in a line for 30 minutes
not
to
that
eat,
long.
so.
Not that long of a line. It's definitely worth trying. I mean, it was worth it to us because we actually made a somewhat effort to try and make it while it was open. But
Yep.
yeah, the line was just like, yeah, let's go have a drink.
Yes. I can think of one other food place off the top of my head. Our notes are kind of like
They're just we're all over the place.
Yeah, we are. But I know that there's like a burrito place up on
yes.
Lido Deck that
And
we never
got to try it.
Do you remember what it was called? Something iguana, blue iguana.
It may have been that. I honestly cannot remember.
We didn't try that on
something
either
Cantina,
cruise.
Blue Iguana Cantina,
think
maybe
so.
is what I think it was called. But we never actually tried it. And
Y'all just let us know if we're missing
Yeah.
out. Like, are we missing out because we didn't try it on either the Breeze or the Dream?
if we ever do another cruise, probably going to be the Dream, then we'll most likely try that out. But yeah, we never got to try it out. We've heard so many good things. Taking a look at other videos that we've seen for reviews of both the Dream and the Breeze, a lot of people gave it like a bunch of rave reviews that it was really good, that it's a spot that you don't want to miss.
Yeah. We should have tried it.
We should have, but we didn't. Did we already talk about the seafood place?
No, we got to get to that. But I was also
Okay.
going to mention, I don't know if they had it on the Dream. I'm just going to assume that they did. But on the Breeze, there's an Italian pasta place upstairs that you can go to. Not on the Dream, but we did on the Breeze. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed being able to pick like what pasta I wanted, and I enjoyed that. So that could be an option too. We didn't do it on the Dream, but I'm guessing that it probably is an option as well.
I want to say
really good. Pasta Bella.
I can't remember. It's so long ago.
Gosh, y'all, we really need to do our homework. Okay, let's see. A few places that we didn't try that are paid for.
The seafood was one.
Yeah, the seafood, which is on the Lido Deck. It's kind of like
at the rear of the ship,
across from the pizza place. That's phenomenal. We did not try that.
No, we didn't.
You said something about reviews.
Yeah, there was. So I had taking a look at the reviews for both the Breeze and the Dream, predominantly the Dream, because that's the cruise that that's what we're referencing. I actually did my homework and glad that I didn't try it, because a lot of the reviews said that they've had better seafood. And by trade, I'm a fisherman. And I catch fish on a daily, so if I'm gonna eat something, it's always gonna be fresh. Nothing is gonna beat fresh. So like, if I catch it today, I'm eating it tonight.
Yeah.
And that is the absolute freshest that you can get. And if anything, like I know Shannon mentioned snobs about barbecue, we are true seafood snobs. And it's not a bad thing, it's just by default. Because of my trade, I get to eat and give my family fresh seafood. And so there is no fishiness flavor whatsoever. But yeah, some of the reviews that had said from seafood lovers that they had better elsewhere and it wasn't worth their money. So I was like, if it's not worth their money, it's most definitely not going to be worth ours. So we opted to just bypass that altogether.
Yeah. And one place I really wanted to try, but we never got around to it, was Bonsai Sushi. It was really good. I mean, to be honest, I don't think we did a lot of eating on the cruise.
We did not.
The food that we had was really great, but I think we were more focused on the alcohol.
The alcohol. Yeah, that sounds bad. But that's because we got the drink package.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't overindulge on the eating at any one particular place. Like maybe the main dining room, we would order 2 entrees if we liked it a lot. But that was it. We truly did not overindulge in the food.
You know what?
I never really felt stuffed.
I just thought of something. If you're eating in the main dining room and you see 2 dishes that really are like speaking to you, you can order more than one dish. We did that once. There were 2 dishes that we really wanted to try. So we each ordered a main course, and then we ordered like a third one
Yeah.
to share. And so if you see something you really want to try, they're very accommodating. They will do that.
Yeah, and you can do that with not only the main course, we did it with dessert
Desserts.
and the Grand Marnier souffle. How is it that I remember that? It was so good, y'all. And that was from the main dining
That was really
room.
good.
Oh, wow. And I didn't learn until after the cruise was done that just because it's not on the menu for that evening,
You can still
ask them. You ask your server, like, I don't see it on the menu, but can I possibly have this?
Yeah.
And I wish I would have did that for that dessert. And then I also wish that I would have done it for the, what was it, the spare rib?
Oh my gosh, that was so good, guys.
That was really, really
I think that was our first
That was the first
meal
night.
in the main dining room.
Yeah.
That was so delicious.
it was phenomenal.
It really was. Okay, so back to what we were talking about, the bars.
Oh yeah, the bars, the drink package.
The drink package, yes.
Yeah.
So we were, I think because we did not do the drink package on the Breeze, we chose to do it on the Dream, and our thought process behind that was, we don't want to think about what we're spending, and if we pay for it in advance, we just don't even have to worry about it. We don't have to keep up with it. However, in our minds, we're like, we just want to make sure we're getting our money's worth, so we're thinking, gosh, you can drink 15 drinks. We're not big drinkers, but we're going to do this. We're going to drink all the drinks we need to. But we figured out that it's not necessarily that you have to drink a lot of drinks. You just need to find the right drinks for the right price to make it worth your money.
Yeah, and I think it equated to like four to six drinks, depending on how expensive they were. But for what we were doing, the bulk of our drinks came from the Alchemy Bar, which we referenced earlier. And they are so good.
I mean, just the Alchemy Bar was just so much fun on this cruise. I think the bartenders were a huge part of that. I think one of them made a comment like, you tip us or you pay us, and we're good and we give you a good time. But what they fail to recognize is, yes, we tip, but you're also making the experience for us really wonderful. And so that was like what was important.
That was
fun for us.
Yeah, that was a big turning point in like swaying me that Carnival isn't so bad after all. The Alchemy Bar, Yvonne, Natalia, and Kameen, they were the three bartenders. Oh, Alex as well.
Alex took the time to like talk to us.
Yeah.
The bar wasn't
on
even
day one.
open on day one. And he didn't hesitate to like talk to us, tell us about the bar, kind of like, teach us about the Alchemy Bar, because we didn't have the Alchemy Bar on the Breeze.
We would have went into it where like we didn't know, but he was like, you just let us know certain ingredients, like give us the spirit of your choice and let us know maybe 2 ingredients or something like that, and then they will concoct you something that in all honesty, I think I was only not disappointed that it didn't agree. It didn't agree with my palate. Let's just say that. But every other drink was just, they were a home run. I mean, it was knocked out of the park every time that they made us something. And that could go with like after you have one, because their drinks they were really strong.
Well, when we first went to the Alchemy Bar, obviously we're ordering off of their beautiful menu that lights up, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
But we were ordering off the menu, and I think one of the bartenders, it may have been Yvonne, who told us, boring. Like they want to be challenged, and they want to just like create something special for you. So we, that's how we learned that you just kind of give them your few ingredients that you really like, and then they create something for you. And so
I mean, I'm smiling from ear to ear. I have a ton to say about the Alchemy Bar. This is actually one of the drinks that they made for us, and it's on their menu, and Carnival publishes that on their website, so that's how we got the bulk of it. Honestly, I was watching them like a hawk because I wanted to know what went inside this. So I had everything down to a T, with exception to, I want to say it was like I was off by 1/4 of an ounce on orange juice.
And then we learned that they put it on their website.
Because I watched another video and it said that, hey, you know, here's how to make the cucumber sunrise. So if y'all are wondering what we're drinking, that's what this is right here.
Except they call for vodka, and we prefer
Yes.
to make it with tequila, which is one of the things they did for me on the cruise.
Yeah.
It's such a refreshing drink.
It'll get
Just
you.
a-
It's the mood setter for
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
Like
It's-
it will.
I
light
just
up.
think it's a great drink for summer. It's so
Oh,
refreshing
yes,
and
for
light.
sure. It goes great with dinner. It's so easy to drink. But anyhow, the Alchemy Bar, I have nothing but good things to say about it.
I feel like we could make a whole separate video
I think we
just about
should.
the Alchemy
We
Bar.
probably
but-
will do that because there was just a spinoff. We're not going to go into it right now, but they do where the main bartender will invite you to their mixology class. And because we spent so much time there and we just had a blast, an absolute blast, talking to everybody, all the friends that we made from there. They have a mixology class, and I think we should just do another video.
I think so too. Yeah, we didn't
About
even
the
know
Alchemy
about the
Bar.
mixology class.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just great.
It was amazing.
But I don't want to take away from like the other bars on the ship, because we did have some drinks at other bars too.
The atrium bar down on
Yep.
deck 3, right before we got off at, what was it? Was it Freeport?
I think it was.
I think it was Freeport. Freeport and Key West.
Yeah.
We went to the atrium bar and we had margaritas
Yeah.
with Don Julio Blanco. That's what we had our margaritas with. Because otherwise, if you don't tell them, and you're on the drink package, so you can let them know, I want the top shelf spirits, and that's what they're going to do for you.
Yeah, I think
They were so crisp, refreshing. They're just absolutely amazing. And we had 3 of them before getting off the ship, and that just set us straight for being able to enjoy each port of call. My second favorite bar to actually
really
go to.
enjoyed the margaritas. I think the margaritas were with Don Julio were like $14.25 if you're trying to do the math for your drink package. So we were just trying to find the
best bang for our buck.
Yeah, best bang for our buck.
Like, is the drink package worth it? Are we actually going to come out even, or are we going to exceed? Like, the drink package basically pays for itself, because you would have spent more if you did it a la carte without that package.
Right, and also you don't feel as comfortable like trying new things. I think we were able to try like different things and new things, even if we weren't going to like it. It wasn't like a big deal because it was already paid for.
You weren't obligated to drink it.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't like it, well, then just go order another one. So you had the peace of mind of being able to try new drinks, which we kind of did. But I
The
don't
only
know.
thing I tried that I didn't like was the dessert martini.
Yeah, the martini one.
I learned that I'm not a fan of like chocolate.
It was just way
coffee
too
martinis.
sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, they
way too
lined
sweet.
your martini glass with chocolates and caramels and
Which the bartender
whatever.
tried to tell us that it was like more of like an
A dessert
after dinner
drink,
dessert
yeah.
drink, but we didn't
We're like,
listen.
whatever, you just make it for us.
And he did, and it was just not. It was
way too sweet.
He
Yeah.
was right. We learned our lesson.
For sure.
We spent a lot of time at the piano bar.
Oh,
we didn't
yes.
order a lot of drinks from the piano bar.
We did. We ordered
But
a
a
few.
few.
Yeah. They just weren't up to par with the Alchemy Bar. I mean, you got to just take into consideration the Alchemy Bar has all types of ingredients there, and they're fresh. And the piano bar, they basically can't compete with that. So we would always run from the piano bar to the Alchemy, order a drink, and you have
Bring
to
it
wait
back.
an ungodly amount of time.
It's not that bad.
I mean, it seemed like
Sometimes.
forever.
Well, when you get friendly with the bartenders, you don't wait as long.
Yeah, they will kind of tend to service you better because they know you were going to tip well. And I mean, those guys work for tips. And so we wanted to make it worth their time. I mean, they made our trip. I think, honestly, they made our trip. And
I think so too.
that's the difference maker between the Breeze and the Dream. Had we found out about the Alchemy Bar on the Breeze, we may have had a different outlook on it, because I don't know. I don't want to say we were inebriated through the whole trip, but
I mean, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to speak for you, but like, obviously not true, but we felt like we were really good friends with the bartenders at the Alchemy. And I mean, obviously they meet tons of people and they're not our best friends, but they made us feel like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, shout out to them for making us feel like, you know, like
Yeah,
we
it was
were friends
great.
and that they were just trying to help us have a good time.
But going back to the piano bar, we did order a few drinks there. They weren't too bad. Definitely drinkable. I did pass on, I think, a vodka cranberry, maybe that I had
wasn't
them
from
made.
the piano bar. That
No?
was from, I don't know the name of the bar, but it was in the, gosh, what's the place where they do karaoke in the comedy
karaoke,
club?
yes.
I don't remember the name of the bar, but we'll add it.
The something lounge. Crimson Lounge.
No, that's our dinner.
That's
That's
dinner.
dinner.
The Crimson Dining Room. Okay, so
don't
anyhow, it's Crimson
we'll
something.
add it, but
maybe.
that we ordered
That
like a
bar
cranberry vodka and it was terrible.
No go. Yeah, I didn't like that
It
at
didn't.
all.
It tasted like rubbing alcohol.
It did. I mean, you
Honestly.
could definitely taste the ethanol in the vodka that we were drinking, and that's because I asked for Grey Goose too, which is one of the top shelf spirits.
I don't think we had Grey Goose. They were like closing, and I think
they were trying to kick us out because karaoke had ended, and then the comedy was about to start, so they kicked us out.
Yeah, which brings us to basically like our dislikes. And there aren't many, but we do have a few.
Yeah, very few.
Yeah, very few dislikes, and that was one of them. And you guys can comment below if you've ever been on this cruise and you know the reasoning behind this. But when you're in the lounge and you're watching karaoke, comedy typically comes up after karaoke. Well, when karaoke ends, they make you get out. So what we learned is that if you go out, it's very hard to come back in for comedy because the line is already so long that you're going to have to go wait in a very long line. And I do understand, like, you know, these people have been waiting and want to come in, but I don't know. Just make it make sense.
You just have to basically pick your show. Like, do you want to watch karaoke, or are you going to leave karaoke right before it ends in order to get in the line, which doesn't make sense because the people are lining up 30 minutes in advance. And so the line is already long, and it's like, well, I like watching people sing karaoke because it's just something that we love to do. And even if you left it early on, then you're going to miss half of the whole karaoke hour, so to say,
to wait
just to be able
comedy.
to wait and like waste time waiting in a line. It just doesn't make sense to me. So if you were already in there, I think you should at least be allowed to stay in there rather than wait in a line. I mean,
to go back in.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I understand.
I mean, Carnival, y'all need to change your rules on that. Honestly, I mean, that's just my opinion. At least you would make the people who are singing karaoke feel good about themselves, because it's like, oh, we packed the house.
Right. Exactly.
And at least you've already got your seat and you're waiting. There's no need to wait any longer. Anyhow, somebody can probably chime in, the way Shannon said, in the comments and let us know something that we're just failing to miss. But that was one of my dislikes for sure.
I mean, I do understand that, like, you know, these people have been waiting in line, so it's like people inside are already taking the good seats or whatever. But, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, just show up early.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, and then one of the things that we were kind of questioning and not understanding, so I'm going to say is a dislike. Maybe it's just more of like we just didn't understand. But when we had the drink package, and on the first day we were using like an onboard credit to get our drinks, and we were getting a double vodka and cranberry. So when we went back on day 2, when our drink package had kicked in, we went back to the same bar, which was on the Lido deck. I think it's called the Blue Iguana.
The Blue Iguana.
The bartender remembered his drink, but then he came back and said, oh, we can't do a double because you have the drink package. And so we just got the single. But then we learned that at other bars, they only make their drinks or cocktails with double shots. So we don't understand the discrepancy there. Like, why is double shot okay at some bars and not at others? So that was a dislike for us, just because we're like, we don't get it.
I mean, we were just a little bit
understand.
confused because you almost felt like, I better not ask for a double if I go
Right.
to any other bar anymore. But what we learned is when we went to the atrium and we asked for the margarita, we literally saw him pour a double shot.
Yeah.
It's like the bartender's pour, where you get 2 ounces and then he still continued to pour the Don Julio. So, I mean, I didn't understand the disparity between the bars themselves. But that was the only one, the Blue Iguana bar. Those guys are sneaky.
Yeah, he was the only one who told us
Yeah.
that. But anyways, we quickly learned that vodka and cranberry wasn't our favorite drink anyways.
No, yeah, no. I mean, we love a good cocktail, and we had plenty of them for sure there.
And the only other dislike that we had was on disembarkation day. Hold on.
Yeah, when we had to disembark, the very last day, disembarkation day.
Yeah, disembarkation day.
The app and what they were going over the loudspeaker with did not marry up.
Well, they weren't announcing it.
And it wasn't updating the app.
Yeah, they weren't announcing. So when we went on the breeze, they announced when your group was ready to disembark. But on the Dream, they wanted us to use the app. Well, the app wasn't updating according to which group they were disembarking. And so we were just sitting there, and our app never updated. So we just got in line, and luckily they didn't say anything to us, but we still don't know like if it was our time or not, because our app never said.
No, I think we were beyond our time. We actually just sat there and waited, but we could have actually got in line
a lot sooner.
Earlier on, but our app had never updated, and that was not to our own fault. We actually turned Wi-Fi off, turned Wi-Fi on. We tried every which way possible just to try to get updates on the app, and it just didn't work. So maybe it was just some type of snag that Carnival had on our particular disembarkation.
I mean, it could have been new and they were just starting it, and it just, all the kinks hadn't been worked out. But that was just our experience, and it was just kind of like, you know, at that point you're tired, you're just ready to get off the ship. So anyway, that was it.
But aside of that, I don't think we had any others. Like, I honestly don't have much bad to say about the Carnival Dream. It is, if you're considering a cruise between the Dream and the Breeze, I'm going to steer you towards the Dream, but it's biased towards my opinions and
our experience.
Yeah, our experience.
Yep.
Just an absolute great cruise that we had. 8-day Eastern Caribbean to the Bahamas. It was a great time. I wished we were still there and being able to just experience everything that we did. Just a great time all the way around.
And I would just say, you know, you always hear other people's opinions, like your friends, your family, videos that you watch. And I always, you know, tell myself, like, it's about our experience. Don't let other people's opinions sway you to do something or not do it. Because if we were to give people our opinion about the Breeze, then we would totally knock it and be like, don't go. And it's not the ship itself, it was just our experience on that particular cruise.
But I know you're going to be just like us, where you're going to watch tons of videos before going on your first ever cruise. So just try to find people who resonate with your style, like your personality, so to say. If they're a party animal, well then, you know, kind of jump into their back pocket and go off of what it is that they're saying. But yeah, definitely don't be swayed by others' opinions, including ours. But we definitely had a great time. The Carnival Dream, I highly recommend checking out, especially if you're going to do the drink package. It is most definitely worth it.
Yeah. One of the things that we did not talk about was just the different activities, the different genres of music, the different performers. I mean, there is something for everyone.
Yes.
So I think if you go on this cruise, you will find something that you enjoy, whether it's lounging by the pool, reading a good book, finding a quiet place, because those do exist on the cruise. Just there's something for everyone.
Yeah,
so
we just happened to not film everything. I don't think you can possibly take everything in on one cruise. I mean, find what you like and then stick to that. And if you have time for other things, the activities, well then do it. Like we did the little putt-putt golf. And it was fun, but the winds were ridiculously high, and Carnival doesn't use actual
golf balls,
like the weighted golf balls. They're more like the practice golf balls. So the wind just had their way with our golf balls, and it was more of a game of polo.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I would recommend.
It was fun either way, though.
There is a lot to do. There's shopping on board. I mean, I know we couldn't possibly cover everything, otherwise the video would go well into close to 2 hours worth of time. And but it was a great time. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. We truly appreciate y'all. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that thumbs up button. And that's going to do it.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one.